Today's video is sponsored by the lovely people over at Aoa.com. If you're looking for a couple million runes, a shiny new weapon, or some fancy equipment, Aoa has got you covered. Better yet, use code EXPLOITS when you check out for 3% off your order. I defeated the Beast Clergyman in 3 hits. I then beat Maliketh in 3 hits. I even killed the Tree Sentinel before them in 4. And I'm going to show you the build I used to do this. Just remember, when you hear that enemy felled noise, come back and hit that sub button. So we're going with a devastating build that will drain Maliketh of his health almost instantly. Sort of like how the Carrion Retaliation Ash of War did back in the day, but unfortunately that is no longer viable. So you don't need everything in this build, but the more of these items you have, the quicker you're going to defeat Maliketh. So let's start with the weapons. Grab yourself a Scavenger's Curved Sword. It's a pretty basic sword that you can pick up from a dead body just here. Its initial damage isn't great, but it does also do a little bleed damage. Now be sure to upgrade it to 25. So you're going to need 2 of these, so if you're in New Game Plus, there may be a chance you've already got it. If not, you can either duplicate it using this video here, I'll link it in the description. And if you've not got a friend to dupe with, we have hundreds of players looking to dupe in our Discord. Or even better, you can see if there's anybody in there that would want to trade with you. Once you've got your 2 swords, stick an Ash of War on each of them. I'd suggest Seppuku on the left and Bloodhound Step on the right. A lot of people would say Seppuku for both of them, but it's really personal preference here. I like to be able to zip around, especially for this Maliketh fight, because he has this AoE attack that he loves to spam. So stat wise, you're going to want to put as much as possible into Arcane, as this really helps bring the best out of the additional damage your weapons inflict. These are my stats, you don't need to copy them completely, but it is worth having something similar. For armor, you're going to want the White Mask. This increases damage whenever blood loss occurs. You can get this by doing the White Mask Fair questline, and then eventually fighting the invaders in the blood pools. I got the full armor set from the second invader, but there are 3 in total. For the chest piece, you're going to want to go for the Raptor's Black Feather Armor. This will boost your jump attack damage. You can find this armor piece here. If you want a bit more info on that, we have a location guide video right here. I'll also link that in the description. For the hands and feet, just pick something that will give you the most amount of armor without causing you to fat roll. Funnily enough, I went for Maliketh's armor here, but I get it, for obvious reasons you're not all gonna have that yet. Just pick whatever works for you. So all 4 of these talismans do something important. We've got the Lord of Blood's Exaltation. This, like the White Mask, increases attack power when there's blood loss in the vicinity. You can find the Lord of Blood's Exaltation talisman here. Next, we have the Rotten Winged Sword Insignia, which greatly raises attack power with successive attacks. We're using 2 swords, and the way you're going to be using them will trigger this talisman every time you hit an enemy. The Godskin Swaddling Cloth Talisman is probably the least important in the list. It restores HP with successive attacks, which is perfect when fighting enemies like Maliketh, but if you'd prefer to use the Gold Scarab for runes, then this is the one I'd swap out. Also, if you have Millicent's Prosthetic, I would recommend using that instead, as it boosts everything even further. Lastly, we have the Claw Talisman. This, like the Black Feather Armor, enhances jump attacks, which is exactly what we'll be doing. Again, we have a video for finding that here, and again, I'll link it in the description. For the Flask of Wondrous Physic, you'll be using Green Burst Crystal Tear, which boosts stamina recovery speed. This will help you get more jumps in and more sword swings. You can find that here. But the most important tier, the one that really ties this all together, is the Thorny Cracked tier, which boosts successive attack power. You can find that one here. Using all of this, you'll now be ready to take on Maliketh and rinse him in seconds. Just pop your Wondrous Physic, use Seppuku, run in there, use a summon to take his attention away, then when you're ready, jump and hit L1 for PlayStation or LB for Xbox. After the second time you jump attack, all of your talismans, armor and tiers will begin working in harmony. Each attack after that will stack more effects and drain more of the enemy's health. Boom! Maliketh defeated.